Okay, folks, I'm on the road here, I-40 heading east. I've got about an hour left until I get to North Little Rock, but I just thought I had someone, I'm sorry I don't remember the name, had messaged me a week or so ago to talk about the process of me getting started at Maverick, which has been 2 3/4 years ago. But just kind of talk about the hiring process and the training, what I remember about it. So let's do that while I'm driving. Super foggy today, by the way. Anyway, okay, so with me, I had already decided to get my CDL, and I've talked about this before, but I got my CDL on my own and then hired on with Maverick. So I think I had passed my permit test. I had gotten my learner's permit and went ahead and filled out the online application with Maverick. I put down Neil Ox as my referral. For those of you that are not familiar with Neil, he left Maverick a year and a half or two ago, but he was making videos at the time I was researching and trying to figure out what to do, make a career change. And he was kind of a new driver. He was making videos. So I had emailed him several times, and he was helpful. So I used him as my referral. And then I also called in and talked to a recruiter who basically told me that they got my application, but to call back, once I got my CDL. So a couple months later, I called back, said, hey, I've got my CDL. They had me, I think, email in a copy of my driver's license, and then they kind of got really interested. And I believe, as I remember, we picked out a date a couple of months into the future where I would start, training classes, the new hire training classes. It might not have been quite 2 months, but it was a month or two into the future. I don't know, because I know I gave my employer there at the newspaper at least a month notice. I really don't remember. It's probably more than that, so they could have time to make plans and do whatever they needed to do with my position when I left. So once the time came for me to start, now I was also working part-time at ABF, just as a dock worker. I was working 25 or 30 hours a week in the evenings, on the weekends, just as a dock worker. So I had to give them notice too. But anyway, once I got to Maverick, since I already had my CDL, I just went straight into the new hire training, where they teach you they go through the new hire process. They kind of give you they bring a medical crew in, kind of do a round of physical testing. They check your eyesight, your blood pressure, just it's general stuff like getting a physical at the doctor. And then they teach you safety things. They teach you how to read maps, how to trip plan. You go into the securement bay and learn about securing different loads. The agility test, which a lot of people are worried about, but I'm telling you guys, if you're in just semi adequate shape, you shouldn't have any trouble with that. It basically boils down to, you know, can you do basic maneuvers with your body? You know, can you get up and down on a trailer? Can you pick up a tarp? And the one thing that people are most worried about is, you know, the box. You know, they have this like a 5 or 5.5 foot tall square plywood box they've built, and it's put on a trailer there in the training bay. And one of the things you have to do is hop up on that, because it's simulating, you know, a load of lumber, let's say, and you have to demonstrate that you can hop up on top of that and then hop back down. Now guys, I was like 58 years old when I did that and didn't have any trouble. You know, you can basically jump up there, get your hands up on there, throw a leg up over, roll yourself up there, and then get back down. You know, it's not that hard. But I'm 6'2", so if you're a shorter person and severely overweight, that might be a challenge. But they do, to help out, they do allow you to take your 4-foot tarps, you know, that are rolled up, and set them at the base of the box and stand on that if you need to. So that helps a lot. I mean, that gives you a good foot or more of height. So but a lot of people are worried about that. But you know, it's basically just basic physical. You know, do you have basic physical qualities? You know, can you squat? Can you pick up things? Can you use your arms and your hands? Can you step up? You know, trust me, you should be, if you're in just normal condition, you'll be fine. Okay, so anyway, now with me, since I only live about 8 or 10 miles from the main Maverick yard, the training facility, so I was actually able to go back home after class every day and then just show back up in the morning, park my car there, go to class, go back home. Most people don't get to do that, you know, so they they have the Maverick Hotel there on the grounds where some people stay, but chances are, you know, some people will be put in local hotels. You know, there's a hotel about probably less than a mile down the road. There's several other ones, 3 or 4 miles down the road, you know, and they have shuttles that bring people back and forth. In fact, I drove a van several times since I was local and was able to do it. That I actually drove guys to the hotels or picked them up in the van and brought them back to the facility. So you know, that part of the training program lasts, I think you start out, as I remember, on a Sunday morning and you finish up like the second week on a Thursday or Friday. So, you know, that's how that works. And then once you complete that part, I got a slow truck here for some reason. I got to get around here. All right, so once you complete that part, you know, they start to hook you up with a trainer truck. Now, in my case, I had like 10 days off at that point, you know, while they set me up with a trainer. Some guys, it happened pretty quick. Others went home for a break. You know, it just kind of depends on what's available, you know, what trainers are available, where they live. You know, they're trying to get everybody set up with a trainer. It may happen real easy and fast. It may happen slower. Who was it? Michael, I think it was, who just completed his training and is out with a trainer right now in his first week. I think he got to go home for a week there the Christmas week, maybe even more than a week, before he went out with his trainer, which is good because he went through the Maverick Driving Academy also, and then the 2-week training. So he was away from home for quite a while. He probably appreciated having that week and a half off. But it just, you know, just be flexible with that, you know. So after my time off there, got hooked up with my trainer, and we actually left out. Now my trainer lived in near the Russellville, Arkansas area, which is about an hour and a half from North Little Rock, so we're pretty close. But we hooked up and left out on a Wednesday, as I remember, and I think we just stayed out on the road that week, that first weekend. I think we got a hotel in Knoxville, Tennessee, and then for the 2 weekends after that, I made it home, you know, and you know, and that's how they try to do it, you know. They try to get you home, you and the trainer. If they don't, they put you up in a hotel. They don't make you stay the weekend out, you know, both of you in the truck, you know. So they try to make it as comfortable as possible. And that was 3 weeks. After that 3 weeks on the trainer truck, you know, you come back to the Maverick yard and you spend like a day and a half, 2 days over at the driving academy property. You know, they just take you over there and have you go through some basic maneuvers in a truck, you know, drive around the lot, kind of do a backup, park the truck, you know, just basic stuff. They just want to make sure, you know, they're not about to graduate you through the program and give you a truck when you don't even know how to move around the lot and back the truck up. So, and then they go back into a classroom, you know, and they review. They spend maybe a couple hours going over securement, reviewing the securement stuff with you. And I've mentioned this before. I suggest you know, because they have a slideshow. They put pictures up on the wall and talk about it with some explanations. I recommend you take pictures of that with your cell phone so you can keep it. And let's see what happens after that. And then you kind of go into the next round where they hook you up with a transitionary fleet manager. You know, you go meet with them. He goes out with you and actually takes you to your truck, you know, that you're being assigned, and you kind of go through an equipment checklist where you verify all the equipment you're supposed to have, you know, coil racks, chains, binders, you know, make sure the truck's got what it's supposed to have. And you know, you kind of go through a process there of getting assigned a temporary fleet manager and getting assigned your truck and a trailer, and you know, just get through that, and then you're ready to go. So let's see, what else do I need to tell? As far as, you know, back to the initial subject of how it went with me going through training, now that I've described the kind of the whole length of the process, it was pretty good, you know. I mean, you go into a class. I think my class probably had about 15 people in there, maybe. 3 or 4 of which we lost. One guy, I remember, just kind of quit. He didn't, I don't really know what happened to him. Another guy got a job offer from someone he had applied to previously, and he said it paid so well he was just going to leave class and go take that job. You know, so things come up. But you know, it's a good environment. You know, they had good instructors in there, good facilities. They have people from, you know, safety, payroll, benefits, all of that come in there and tell you what you need to know. You go through, you have to do paperwork, you know, like, you know, getting hired on with any company, paperwork, signing up for benefits, this and that. But it was good, you know. I mean, it's a good program. They start pretty early, as I remember. You know, it start like 6 or 6:30 in the morning, and then you get done, you know, at, I don't know, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't remember exactly. And you usually have a little bit of homework, you know. Go and they might give you a couple of things to say, okay, you got a load where you're going to Indianapolis, Indiana for a Tuesday 10 a.m. delivery appointment, you know, and plan your trip out. So you know, they give you some exercises like that, you know. So you might spend an hour doing some exercises that you take back in with you the next day. But they have breakfast catered in, pretty good breakfast, and lunch. And then, of course, in my case, I got to leave at the end of the day and go home, so it didn't really apply to me. But I think for the evening, you know, they give people you know, like a prepaid credit card, so you can go to a restaurant, or you can go to the Walmart, buy food and bring it back to the room or your hotel. So you kind of own your own for dinner. So you know, that's just how it went. It was not, you know, I mean, you know, the last thing a lot of people want to do, you know, if you're 30 or 40 or 50 years old, is go back into a classroom, start learning things. You know, that's a turnoff to a lot of people, and rightly so. But you know, it's not anything you should stress out about, get all worried about. You know, it's nothing super complicated. You know, you got to learn a little bit of, you know, basics math about figuring out securement issues for the weight of the load, and you got length issues. But you know, it's simple stuff, guys. And then, you know, once you get into the training bay, you know, they teach you how to handle the equipment, you know, and you practice. You actually get up on the loads and practice securing them. You know, it's really good. And I'll tell you, you know, the thing that I had the most trouble with was probably the straps. You know, those 4-inch straps, how you roll those up and get them tucked into the side of the trailer. I really struggled with I really struggled with that. And then when I went out with my trainer, he did it different than how they taught us in class. You know, he had a little piece of metal strapping banding material that he taught me to use it to poke it through the slot in the winch. And you know, I kind of, that's what gave me more trouble than anything. So kind of funny to think about it, actually. But you know, it's a good program. Just go in there and be willing to learn, pay attention, do what they tell you, be on time. You know, I've known of people that have gotten kicked out of the program for not following safety instructions or being late. Like if they were, you know, they had a van there at 6 a.m. to pick you up at your hotel, and you're not there. You know, Maverick looks at that and says, you know what? If you can't be on time for your training class, how are we supposed to think you can be on time delivering your load? So they're looking for people that are serious and that can accomplish what they need to accomplish, you know, not goofing around. So keep that in mind when you go in there. Pay attention, follow instructions, you'll be fine. Okay, I hope that answers the questions, you know, that were posed about the training, me personally with the training. It was a good program. The trainer truck too. Let me talk about that a minute. The trainer truck, you know, the trainer truck should take you about 3 weeks. It kind of depends on you and the trainer, but typically it's a 3-week thing. You know, you just got to get through it. You know, you're learning, you're preparing yourself for your career. It's only 3 weeks, so just get through it. You know, it's tough sharing space with somebody, you know, but 2 guys living in a truck. But you know, if everything works out, you know, you do get off on the weekends, you know, or maybe in a hotel. So just day by day, just get through it. I do remember initially on the trainer truck, it was a little bit of a challenge to get used to, you know, just the difference of kind of getting on a different clock, you know, because I remember the first couple of days we headed out, you know, we got up early, you know, at like 3:30 in the morning, you know, and we hit the road, you know, it's dark, it's raining, you know, and we were traveling through like North Carolina, hilly. It was tough at first, but once you get used to it, you know, in the feel of the truck and having a load on the truck, you know, getting more comfortable with how the truck feels and going up and down the hills with the loaded trailer, you know, you get more comfortable. That was I remember that being kind of worrisome at first, you know, just driving the truck, is because remember, you know, I had never done this at all before. You know, the only time I'd ever been, you know, driven a truck was just the little bit I did preparing to take my CDL. I had, you know, a lot of you guys have relatives or fathers that were truck drivers. You've been around it a little bit, or maybe a lot. I had not. I was totally new to this. So now I spent a lot of time in the back ends of trailers working at ABF, but not trucks. And I only did that for like 5 months. So, but anyway, you know, it's totally different now. You know, once you get out there and start driving, get more comfortable with it, it's a whole lot easier now. So anyway, that's enough talking about that. Okay guys, well, I've made it to the North Little Rock Maverick yard, and this new mirror eye technology that I showed you earlier that they just installed on my truck, it was working for the first hour and a half on my way here this morning, and then I stopped to do a load check at a rest area, and it hasn't worked since then. And my fleet manager sent me a message to call Shannon here for some training on the mirror eye system. And I called him and told him that, you know, it's not working. You know, I was thinking he might tell me something that I needed to do to make it work again. But he said, no, if it's not showing you anything on the screens, then there's something wrong. So I sent in a maintenance request here to the shop for them to look at it. In fact, I'll check the truck in here in just a minute. And also I have a charging port here, you know, the cigarette lighter charging port. It's not working, hadn't worked all week. And let's see, what else is it? Oh yeah, my CB is not working. So I'm gonna have them check that. I don't know if it's just the wiring or if the CB has gone bad. Either way, you know, if it's the CB that's gone bad, I'll just have them call me later, and I'll run by Walmart or somewhere and pick one up and bring it out here so they can pop it in for me. But let's do a quick recap. You know, this is a short week. I started out Sunday. You know, I worked about 7 hours Sunday, but it's Thursday morning now, and I'm about to wrap up the week, which worked out pretty cool. I didn't think I was going to get such a nice break for the New Year's holiday. But this load I have, remember, it delivers Monday morning at 5 a.m. Eastern time in Huntington, Indiana. So I'm going to have to get up and leave early in the morning, pretty early on Sunday morning, you know, like probably leave here at that's 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., something like that. All right, so I think I got some students that are getting assigned their trucks. I'll get out and try to shoot a little footage of that if I can, without interrupting anything. But it looks like there's several students out here that have their little checklist, and they're going around checking their equipment, things off the, you know, the list, getting their truck. So that's kind of cool. Okay, let me look up the miles first for last week. You know, it was a short week last week, with the Christmas holiday and all, and I misspoke last week on the video. When I arrived here before Christmas, I said I got home on Christmas Eve. I actually got home on Christmas Eve. So I got home on Thursday morning, not Friday morning. So I wanted to clarify that too. And then left out on Sunday. But for that week, I only had 1,478 miles. Short week, but that's cool. I had a nice holiday break. Now, payroll. The gross pay for that week was $1,220.04. $1,220.04. So, just to give you that, you know, I'm trying to show you guys that are interested in making a career change or coming to Maverick. I'm just trying to give you an honest look at what the weeks are like. You know, I'm showing you when I get home, when I leave out, and every trip in between. You know, you can plot it out on a map if you want to. My pay, my miles, just showing you so you can see what it's like. I'm not just giving you partial pieces of information. I'm trying to give you a full picture. I mean, I can't film every hour of every day. You got to fill in the gaps there with your imagination. But I'm showing you every trip I get, every pickup, every delivery, pretty much, and miles, pay. So, all right, let's get out here and try to show you a little bit of what's going on here, if I can. All right, just to remind you, here's the load I've got. Five bundles of steel bar. It was preloaded at the Maverick Fort Smith yard. So that's what I got. There's the securement training bay over there. And what we've got here is a bunch of trucks. You can see, you mind if I film you guys doing that? Are y'all new students getting your trucks? Yeah. Okay, all right. So what we have here is some new students that just got out of the program, and they're checking their equipment they give you a list of all the equipment you're supposed to have, and you have to go through and make sure it's all there. You can see he's got his list there and checking it off. He's going through his timber box over there. So what year model trucks are you getting? 21s. That's nice. That's what I'm driving.
Yeah, I saw the back wheels.
Yep, I just got them installed this morning.
Oh,
And they've already quit working.
oh wow.
I got to take my truck into the shop. But so where are you from?
Bama.
Bama?
Alabama, yeah.
Okay, all right. Where are you from?
Alexandria, Louisiana.
Louisiana and Alabama. All right. So I live about 10 miles from here.
Oh yeah, so you go home?
Yeah, I park here and go home every weekend. Works out great. So so how's it feel to be getting your own truck?
It's a real.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yep.
All right. So do you have are you going to get to take off any at this point, or are you going to get a load?
Start Monday.
So you're gonna be hanging out here at a hotel until Monday, or are you going home? All right, so you get to go home.
Yep.
For a few days and take your truck home.
Yep.
Okay, so you'll take the truck home and then
Show it off to our family.
show it off to your family members, he says, and then head out Monday getting your first load.
Yep.
Woohoo! Fun times. Fun times. Well, you guys just kind of take it easy, be careful, don't get in a rush. That's my advice. It all gets easier as time goes by.
Yes, sir.
So all right, well, enough talking. I gotta go check my truck into the shop later. Okay folks, got my truck checked into the shop here. The guy said, you know, if it is the CB that's gone bad, he'll call me and I can hop by the Walmart between here and my house, pick one up and bring it back out here. I've got the camera just sitting up here on the dash of my little old Volkswagen. I'm driving a 21-year-old Volkswagen. But you know what? All I need it for is to get me back and forth from here to home. But I thought I would give you a little footage of the lot here, since there's quite a bit going on right now. So across there is the truck wash and the supply barn. And then as we turn here, you know, we got trucks, a lot of new students that just graduated out, you know, from their trainer truck, and they're getting their new trucks, fixing to head home for a few days off and then get their first loads on Monday. So straight ahead here is the main training building. I tell you what, let's just drive around a little bit since I'm not in any big hurry. Here's the main training building where you got, you know, that's where they serve you your breakfast and lunch, and you get training classes and all that. Got the vans here that tote people back and forth. And you got the shop here on the right. The main office is over here to the left. Nice place. Got a memorial, veterans memorial here with these flags and a monument. And let's see. There's a driver's lounge here to the left. This is where you go in. They got like a break room with vending machines, coffee, laundry, TV room, several showers. Got a basketball goal here. Got a landscaping building, I guess that's what you call it, right here straight ahead, where they keep all the grounds crew equipment. Got more parking back there for trailers. You got more parking here for trucks, you know, that are parked here on the weekend or parked waiting on a shop appointment. And you got more trucks parked over here. Now, this little lot right here straight ahead is where, when I was assigned my first truck, that's That's where it was parked. They may be doing it differently now. Those two guys that I was talking to earlier on camera, you know, they were both getting 21 model trucks. So they're getting year-old trucks, basically. You know, the first truck I got was, it was a 15 model. It was 4 years old. You know, it had like 400,000 miles on it already. I drove it for 3 or 4 months, and then they put me in a 19 model truck. Drove it for about a year, and then I got a new 21 that didn't have any miles on it. Oh, sorry about that. Camera, it's not attached, it's just sitting here. So I'm just trying to give you a bigger shot of the yard. Try to hold the camera still here. There's another driver over there. Looks like he's getting his truck. He's got a 21 model. And I'll make the turn here and let you get a better view of things. There's several people walking around out here. I don't know if they're new drivers or what. There's the securement bay training area I talk about a lot. Here's my truck to the left. That's where I parked. They'll be getting it, putting it in the shop. All right, so that's a look of things here on December 30th. About to close out this 2021 year. Hopefully they'll wash my truck for me too this weekend. They usually do. After your truck's been in the shop, they usually send it over to the truck wash. All right, guys, that's it for this week. See you Sunday.